I've said it before and I'll say it again. Useless machines are some of my favourite contraptions that you can build in Minecraft. All you do is place down a lever, and as soon as you activate it, the machine actually kicks into gear, breaks the lever, and then switches back off again. It's a machine that is specifically designed to turn itself off when it gets turned on. Now this thing's pretty cool, but I think we can go a little bit further. You see, what I want to do in today's video is create the fanciest useless machine you can possibly build in Minecraft. And this is my idea for it. Now at this point in time, it doesn't have any wiring or anything like that, so we're going to have to do this manually. But the theory is that when we flick this lever right here, that will activate this magic button lever circuit, which will mean that this circuit is now activated, and that will kick into action this part of the redstone contraption, which is going to push our piston up to this level. We're then going to push a block up to this level. We're then going to need to make it so that this piston has been spat out, so then we can retract all of this out the way just like this. Grab that piston, and that should just about do it. And then we need to make sure that we push this observer across, push it up, and that will be what breaks our lever. And then we have to go through the whole process of retracting everything. This is actually quite a meaty redstone circuit, I have to say. So part number 1 is now completed. I managed to get the double piston extender circuit in place. That was very simple, consisting of, well, this observer, this repeater set to 2 ticks, and this block. So that should do the trick when we fire a pulse through it. Now we have to do the actual triple piston extender, which then goes into a double piston extender, which will then make everything work. I must admit, I'm doing things in a bit of a weird order here, but I thought it would be a good idea to also set up the observer double piston extender circuit, so when we shoot the observer up to power the sticky piston that is going to push across into our lever, that is all going to be done using this little redstone circuit right here, which will shoot this up and then retract it. Now let's just quickly make sure that that will actually work. So this is our sticky piston, this is its block, and we should see that was pretty good. So it extended and retracted, and then it pulls the observer out the way. Nice. Okay, now it's time to actually do the triple piston extender. So the first challenge with this was trying to work out where each one of the inputs is going to go, wrapping around the different circuits I already have in place. But this seems to do the trick. So we have these 3 on this side, and then we have these 2 on this side. Then that input is for that observer, and this input here is for our little observer shoot up and retract circuit as well. Right, so now we need to work out the timing. So we need to make sure that this down at the bottom here stays extended for the longest. This one here, which would be powered by this, I think, yeah, this one needs to stay extended for the second longest, and then the observer will fire, spitting out the block, then the whole thing needs to retract, then it needs to re-extend, then it needs to retract again, which we are making pretty good progress on. So what I've done is I have created the extension sequence. So there we go, that has spat out that sticky piston right there, and that is going to be chilling out up at the top, and then all we have to do is make sure that we can actually grab that back down, which... that was odd. I wasn't actually expecting that to happen. I don't really know what happened there. That was a bit strange. Yeah, it turns out what I did just there doesn't actually work. I've made some slight modifications to the circuitry. Ooh, and now it's looking good. Now that's looking good. Because then when we unpower it, hopefully nothing strange should happen. Nice, this is good. This is hurting my head. I'm doing funny things. I don't know what I don't know how to get this back down. There's so many different circuits intertwined with one another. And just to add more salt to the wound, I just had it all working, and now I've broken something really important and I can't tell what I've done. Genuinely cannot tell what I've done. Oh. But thankfully we have now pulled it off. So if I hit this button down at the bottom here, you can see that we get the full triple piston extension. That spits out the piston up at the top there, which will be doing all the extension and retraction. And then we hit the button again, and that will fire, and it will retract the full sticky piston. So that means that we have got ourselves a fully functioning triple piston extender circuit that we can use reliably. We just have to run inputs into it. We can repeat it over and over again. That's all good. Okay, so now... what do we have to do now? I don't really know. So now I've actually got this thing hooked into our lever, and I've also added in the double piston extender circuit. which that is doing okay. Okay, so that observer there is actually powering this circuit for a second time. How do I fix that? I think I can just run a redstone line over the top, make sure that this is a half slab or something, and then we can run the comparator in on the next level. Yeah. Yep. Okay, problem solved. That was scary. And now everything is looking really good. Flick the lever. And there we go. So part 1 of the circuitry is in place. Now we just need to do the observer push across, the observer push up, the observer retraction, and then the observer pull back. And doing that will destroy our lever, which will then activate the falling edge side of the circuit, which will essentially undo all of the things that we've just done right here, sucking it all back down into the ground. Now hopefully, if we hit this button right here, this should test out. Okay, so that retracted it way too quick. We need to have some extra delay there. So I'm going to add a few extra comparators to our comparator pulse extender. And hopefully that will just extend out that pulse just a little bit longer so that we don't actually retract the piston as opposed to the observer. So let's try again. So the observer goes across, we get that. Still retracting way too fast. Maybe get an extra comparator in there. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Let's try again. Observer. It goes across. It gets pushed up. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to see. So now we see if that observer firing off every 2 seconds is going to cause havoc with the rest of the circuitry. Let's have a look. So we flick the lever downwards like this. That will activate all of this. That all looks pretty good. And then we wait. Oh my word! So we just destroyed the lever! I mean, we need to work on this delay. It needs to be a tiny bit shorter. But no way! That actually just worked! And then we just need to fire this and the triple piston extender on the falling edge, and that's this entire thing done! Oh my word, I'm so excited! And now things have been sped up just a tiny bit, so the whole system actually works pretty fluently, as you can see here. Good stuff. First half is done, so the triple piston extender is now all activated. Now all I need to do is link up this red line here that is coming out from this piston, which is our falling edge monostable circuit. Somehow that needs to go into this green area, and I actually think we might be onto a winner with that little corkscrew that I think we've just pulled off, which is going up and over like this. So that will go up like that. I don't think that's interacting with anything. And then we're going to need a repeater set to 4 ticks to make sure that this piston doesn't spit out its block. That could potentially be all it. I'm just going to quickly triple check everything and make sure that it's all good. But fingers crossed, this is all the circuitry done. So here goes. Placing in the lever. We give it a flick and all of the pistons pop up. Our piston then breaks it. And then tracks back down into the floor. Oh my word, it actually works. This is the best thing ever. Oh, that is fantastic. And look, the whole thing is completely flush with the floor. Obviously, we have to have some carpets because that's how this magic button or lever thing works. But I cannot actually believe that we have managed to build this thing. That's so amazing. Oh, that is hilarious. I mean, it takes quite a long time. That is fantastic. I wasn't actually expecting to be able to build this thing. Originally, when I first constructed it, so when I first built it, I didn't actually have a sticky piston at the block. What I had instead was the regular piston that would pop out of this area here. So I wasn't going to do anything with this block. It was going to be a regular piston which pops out in this area. But you see, that was a bit of a problem, because if we just quickly remove this, I can quickly demonstrate that when the piston pops up as it popped up, it would be updated and then it would get stuck like this. So I had to come up with an entirely new circuit with all the double piston extenders and the sticky piston block pushers and retractors and everything like that. And as I say, wasn't 100% certain I was going to be able to pull it off, but we did, and it works, and it looks absolutely amazing. This is by far one of my favorite redstone contraptions I have created. I absolutely love it. I could use this thing all day long. So there we go, that is everything. I hope that you enjoyed this little Minecraft challenge. This was a really fun one to take on. Be sure to submit your suggestions down in the comment section down below and also on Twitter. I'll be taking a look through them. But for now, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please sure to hit that like button. If you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and yeah, standard filming channel stuff. You know, link on the end screen.